Yeah, Charlie's a great friend, and I was happy to be there, happy to be in town for it. I saw him at breakfast yesterday, and we just ended up ending up at the same spot, and he told me it was going to happen, and I was kind of rattled. I couldn't believe it just because, how long he's played and how consistent he's been, and I was thinking about it like all day yesterday. So I'm happy for him. He's an incredible player. Consistency is what I would think about him, and for me, the best leadoff hitter I've ever gotten a chance to play with, and one of the smartest players I've got to play with too. And I could go on and on. From the routine to the recovery to everything he did to get ready for a game was something that I learned a lot from, and I appreciate him. He's a winner.
Was it you were rattled because of his longevity, or?
I was just kind of like, I can't believe it's like this time, that it's over, like this is it from, I think that's kind of what threw me off a little bit, just because, you don't, the end is coming for all of us, at some point, but, I was just kind of, I thought about all the old times, so it kind of just threw me off a little bit, but, I'm happy for him.
What were some of the memories that came to mind, just of your time spent with Charlie?
Yeah, obviously 17, 18, back-to-back playoffs, that was fun, and then just the minor leagues, and he was always a couple steps ahead of me, but, I was 18 when I first met him, and, he was like one of the top prospects in the organization, and just, we kind of came up I know he came up a couple years before me, but, it was always kind of like me, him, and DJ were coming, and that was kind of our core, and it was pretty cool to see us all be in the same lineup, I remember in AAA our lineup went Charlie, DJ, me, and then big leagues at one point it went Charlie, DJ, me. So it was kind of cool to see that come into fruition like that.
Nolan, you and Chuck used to go out to dinner, and inevitably you ended up talking baseball, right?
Yeah.
Did it go beyond baseball, or was it mostly just you guys talking about your bats all the time?
Yeah, it was just baseball, because me and Charlie are like the polar opposites of people. He's into fishing. I'm definitely not into any of that. So, I'm into going to the beach and, golf and stuff. So we're like polar opposites, but, he's the yin to my yang in a sense, you know what I mean? So, I love him, and, he's just a great friend. He was a great player, and, yeah, man, we had great dinners and stuff like that. A lot of arguing, a lot of discussions. It was fun.
You knew him before the beard, so you're watching him, and you get to see him with his kids saying goodbye. Like, you've known him through basically his whole life.
Yeah.
What does that feel like for you?
Yeah, like I said, I saw him yesterday with the babies and stuff, and then I had my baby too, so it was like just kind of crazy because we were all young ones, and we were all just hanging out after games and had no other priorities other than just playing baseball. And Charlie's, like I said, man, his work ethic has always been one of the best I've ever seen, and man, I'm just proud to call him a former teammate and a great friend.
Hey, Nolan, when 17 and 18, great seasons, you guys almost knocked off the Dodgers in 18, one game away. Back then, not to rehash a little history, did you think at that time you guys had a core of something that had a chance to become special?
Oh, yeah. Charlie, DJ, Story, me, and Cargo, and, that was pretty good players right there, and we were all playing at a pretty high level, and it was special. And, I always kind of say when DJ left, that kind of dampened us a little bit, just because that was our group. But without just going back to Charlie, if it wasn't for Charlie, we wouldn't have made those postseasons. Without him, he was just so clutch and huge for us and setting the tone.
What did he do for your game? Coming up, like you said, a few years behind him, maybe, but roughly the same time.
Yeah.
But what did he do for you as a player?
Oh well, I don't know. Someone should look at the stats, but all my RBIs, half my RBIs in my career have to be Charlie Blackmon on base. I would love to know exactly what the number is, but half of them have to be with him right there.
Right.
So he, I was always driving him in. He was always in scoring position. It was just seemed like, it was always Charlie got a hit, DJ shot it through the 4-3 hole, and then hopefully I would drive him in somehow. That's what it always felt like we were doing. And but besides, obviously the numbers and all that, like I said, Charlie. I would get to the field at 12:45, and Charlie would get there at 12:45, and then we would leave at like midnight, and Charlie would leave at midnight with me. And he was the first guy I ever see be in the cold tub, recovering his legs, eating dinner. And you guys were like, "That's weird." Well, I'm like, "That's Charlie." So that's usually how it would go, man. He just took care of his body, and he was a trip, man. It was a real treat to play with him because he was so stubborn. That's what made him so good, is that he's so stubborn in his ways. And if you try to get him out of his ways, it was just like a hard argument. Like, don't come near me, don't talk to me if you're going to try to get me away from what I do. So, but that's what made him Charlie, and we always loved him.
Hey, what did you guys argue about besides getting him out of his ways?
You know, it could be anything, music, and you know, like, hey, I think you should try a lighter bat, and he'd be like, don't tell me what to do. You know, just anything. You know, this is Charlie just telling us, like, just don't tell me what to do, or like how to round the bag, like any discussion that had to do with anything that would get him out of his like normal routine. It would just be like, don't tell me what to do, get away from me. And so that's just kind of how it went.
You touched on how he was as a leadoff hitter. One of the things he brought was kind of damage, slugging to that spot.
Yeah.
And at that time, how different did that feel?
Oh, I mean, but that's the thing with Charlie. I mean, I think, you know, nowadays the game is so different. You know, you rarely see, if a lefty's starting, you rarely see a lefty lead off the game. Now it's like you're going to put a righty there, you're going to match up. Every team's doing it. Our team, Charlie was hitting leadoff every game. Could have been, you know, it could be Kershaw pitching. It didn't matter who was throwing. He's going to hit leadoff for us, and that's something that I admire with him because it didn't matter who was pitching, and Charlie always set the tone. And yeah, man, he did a lot of damage, and he was clutch, and he worked really hard on his outfield. I know he doesn't get a whole lot of credit for his outfield skills, but he played really hard out there. In this year, it's not fair, you know, for outfielders, but you know, he did a tremendous job.
You mentioned being taken aback a little bit when you got the news. What was the moment like where you kind of had the realization of like, you're lucky to be here for his final week and that you could actually participate in the press conference and be there in person?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know press conference was going to happen until this morning. Got a few texts, and I'm happy that, you know, all the guys let me know. But you know, obviously, I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to just be here to see it. I had a feeling I wanted to ask him like what your plan was, but I was also scared to ask him like, you know, hey, what are you gonna do? Because then he might be like, I'm still playing. Don't even ask me that. You know? So I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie to ask him. So he told me, and you know, I'm happy for him. I was happy to hear him talk and see his whole family. You know, it was great to see his parents. I haven't seen his parents in a long time. I remember when we clinched the playoffs in 2017, we all went out, and his mom and dad were with us and stuff. So it was kind of cool to see them again. I feel like I haven't seen them in a long time, so it was awesome.
And no, you talked about the RBIs. When you hit the walk-off for the cycle, Father's Day, and you were bleeding both of them. Yeah. Was Charlie on base that day? You remember?
I think he was, and he did cut me. His helmet's the one that cut me, too. So he's the one that made that picture cool. But Charlie's... I'm pretty sure Charlie was on base. I think DJ and I think Tappy was the one that got the hit to tie the game. I think I forgot how it went, but yeah, it was a good rally. It was a good rally. Yeah.
For being opposites attract, there's photos of you guys out fly fishing. So you went out at least once.
Yeah,
How did that go?
It was cool. I mean, that was the first time I ever did it. He took me out with him. It was after Fan Fest one year, and it was fun, man. We had a cool time. It was just cool being in the wilderness like that. But you know how Colorado was. It was like a 75-degree day, and then by the time we were done, it was like 32. You know, it was nuts. Yeah, it was crazy. So, but it was fun, man. We had a great time going in his old Jeep that he had and stuff like that. It was cool.
Did you ever do it again, or just that one time?
That was the only time I ever gone with him, right? Yeah. That was awesome.
Was there anything hard about being able to do that today? I mean, just logistically, being able to go over to a Rockies press conference?
I mean, it was kind of weird, you know. I was, you know, seeing like the Cardinal brass again, you know, it was kind of weird. And like seeing the familiar faces is weird, but not the whole team's totally different, you know. So it doesn't feel that weird. I mean, besides Freeland, you know, Marquez, Senzatella, and Charlie, right? I mean, like, and then all, you know, all the trainers and stuff that I was great friends with. You know, those are the only guys I really know. You know, I really don't know anybody else. So that part's always kind of weird.
A little bit.
What?
Rymack a little bit.
Oh yeah, and Mac. Sorry. And then Mac, sorry. And then so, you know, there's only a few guys, you know, so it's a little different, man. It's just a different game.
One team, one roster. When you mentioned that, one guy. How rare is that? To just see that. I mean,
One guy. What do you mean?
One team.
Yeah, I mean,
I know guys who haven't, and we're like, oh, is he talking about? No.
Yeah.
No, not in any way, but
no, I mean, I think with, you know, and when I heard him say that, you know, I just, you know, I'm happy for Charlie. This is Charlie's road, and this is Charlie's story, and he's had an amazing story, an amazing career. He chose his career, his path. I've obviously chosen mine, and we're both proud of each one of them. So, I mean, you know, that's the only thing I can really say, but Charlie's been a terrific Rocky. I hope he retires his number. and I would like to come back for that. That would be pretty cool. So he deserves it.
And when you talk about coming up with him and him being a couple of years ahead, is it sort of like an older brother, younger brother relationship at least early on?
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, absolutely. He's someone that I looked up to. Him and DJ were my guys, and those are the guys that that really helped me become better. Obviously Tulo and Cargo and those guys for sure, but a chunk of my career was with Charlie and DJ, and they helped push me to get to another level. And, the one thing about Charlie and DJ, that no matter if they were banged up, they try to play every day, and that's something that I do admire about Charlie. Is that if he's posting every day, then I should probably be posting every day too.
Do you think in their own ways, Yadier Molina, guy you played with, and Charlie kind of had similar careers being with one club and what they meant to those organizations?
Yeah. I mean, no offense to Charlie, Yadi's Yadi, but, Charlie, I know what Charlie means to the state, and yeah, I mean, what Charlie's done his whole career, Yadi's just, he's crazy, he's the greatest. I mean, I can't explain how amazing, how amazing this guy is as far as calling, there's little things about the game that Yadi did that changed the landscape of everything, where, Charlie's a center fielder, Yadi's a catcher, it's a little bit different.
Thanks, Nolan.
No,
No, just